Welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. This week, Mike Oboleski talks about the importance of the recycling program and your part in it. The YMCA has a new director, and Parks and Recreation Director Judith Lebline will introduce him. Congressman Dick Zimmer and state legislators Harriet Durman and Jeff Warsh went to Rutgers to discuss the importance of the Cancer Registry in New Jersey. All of these stories and more are coming up, including information about the upcoming library birthday picnic, the Daisy Spring Fair, and the Memorial Day Parade. But first, here's a rundown of Channel 8's program schedule beginning next Monday. Lenore Kulik teaches how to tighten up on Monday morning at 10 a.m. She'll also give you a total workout with non-stop aerobics on Wednesday at 2:30 and 7. That's on Look Great, Feel Great. Stories about magic and magical things are featured on Stories from the Library Monday at 10:30 and Wednesday at 3. On Tuesday evening, Paul Hansen talks about estate planning on You and Your Money at 7:30. On Wednesday, Spotlight on Education travels to the East Brunswick High School Library to highlight research tools for students. That's at 7:30, and at 8 o'clock, join host Laura Ivan for a look at the college experience on 18 Growing Up in East Brunswick. Thursday, Steve Sackman discovers the benefits of martial arts and bodybuilding on Let's Talk Health at 7:30. Don't forget to tune in to Channel 8 Thursday at 7 and again at 8 o'clock for coverage of local news and events on This Week in East Brunswick. Saturday's schedule begins at 9:30 in the morning and includes a rundown of the week's programs. Be sure to watch the Channel 8 Community Bulletin Board for program times and for community announcements.
Hello, I'm Michael Oboleski, Director of Public Works for the Township of East Brunswick. As we promised you in January about our new recycling program, what you have just seen, the collection of newspapers and the recyclables, is our new program that started as of January. We are very excited about it. As you can see in the background, we have our yellow buckets at curbside. It's very important to understand that the yellow buckets are what trigger the recycling truck to stop at your home. We encourage their use. We have had a little problem with people borrowing those yellow buckets. So we are, once again, emphasizing that you place your name and address on those buckets. If for any reason the bucket is lost or is stolen, they can be replaced at the Public Works Center at 4 Hearts Lane at a cost of $7.50 per bucket. Now, one of the things that we like to thank you is to show that we have increased our recycling rate. Based upon the figures that we have just reviewed, our recycling rate has increased to 44%. Now, this is a 10% jump over the previous year. We are still looking to achieve the 60% recycling goal that must be at hand by 1995. But with your cooperation, it looks like we'll have that achieved by the end of 92 or the early part of 93. One of the things that we promised in January of 92 was the increased ability of recycling starting as of July 1st. As of July 1st, we will be collecting junk mail, magazines, telephone books, and corrugated cardboard. And once again, that'll be done at curbside for your convenience. We will be pursuing other recyclable items in the near future. You should be receiving a brochure in the mail within the next month outlining the programs that I am talking to you about today. We're looking for your cooperation, and we are encouraging you to increase the recycling rate in East Brunswick by simply placing the materials at curbside. What you have just seen at the recycling site was the depositing of all the materials that are picked up. On an average, we get 3 to 4.5 truckloads of recyclable materials, which includes the plastic, aluminum, bimetal, and glass. Again, we're asking for your cooperation in keeping and maintaining the curbside program. Okay, we are at the Public Works Center at 4 Hearts Lane. Behind me is our drop-off center for leaves and yard waste. We are looking at the inclusion of grass clippings that may take place in the summer. We are asking two things in regards to grass. We have some brochures that we would like you to have picked up at the Public Works Center. One has to do with grass. The other one has to do with how you can reduce solid waste within a household, which we're also encouraging, and again is related to recycling. Our last one is the bifold that was mailed to your home having to do with the overall recycling program. If you would like any of these materials sent to you, please call Public Works at 4 Hearts Lane at 390-6886 and we will gladly send them to you. Or if you're at Public Works dropping off any material, please stop in at the office and we will also give them to you. Also, if you look to my right, you'll see a product that is left over from the composting of the leaves that are dropped off. This is the leaf compost material, and it is free to the residents of East Brunswick. It's very encouraging to see that our residents are stopping in and picking up. There is no limit on how much of this material you can have. We will gladly supply whatever is needed. It is great for gardens, around azalea bushes, or just for regular lawn maintenance. So we wish you could come down and just take as much as you want. And thank you. Another service that we offer at 4 Hearts Lane is the drop-off of used oil. Now, this is a major contaminant that we're trying to exclude from the storm drain systems. Many of the individuals in East Brunswick that do work on cars or drain the oil and change the oil and oil filter have been known to deposit that material in the storm drain system. That is very detrimental to the environment, and we're asking that you please bring that material to 4 Hearts Lane, and we have a drum in the back that you can see where the material can be deposited. We also have containers there. If you change the oil and have the oil filter can be deposited. We are looking at the inclusion of having a tire as well as a battery drop-off center located at 4 Hearts Lane, and again, you will be receiving that information in a brochure in the coming months. So again, we encourage you to recycle in East Brunswick. The programs are working, and we need your assistance. With your cooperation, we will be able to reach the 60% recycling goal as stated prior to the deadline of 1995. And we thank you very much for your cooperation.
State lawmakers hosted a roundtable discussion with New Jersey doctors and researchers aimed at identifying problems involved with the New Jersey Cancer Registry.
The reason why we are all here dates back to a year ago when Assemblywoman Durman was a candidate for office. My office tried to obtain for her cancer statistics for Middlesex County, and we were appalled to find that the most recent statistics available were from 1985. Obviously, accurate and complete data is essential to research aimed at reducing the morbidity and mortality of cancer. It's essential to the kinds of decisions that we as elected officials have to make about public health and the reduction of the risks to human health. So our purpose today is to discuss the status of cancer registries and to examine ways of ensuring that the researchers who are on the front lines of the battle against cancer are getting the data that they need.
Several months ago, when my colleagues and I were dealing with the Middlesex County Environmental Coalition on the issue of Edgeboro, I became interested in learning more about its possible health risk to the residents of the 18th District. It seemed like a natural request when working with Congressman Zimmer's office. We requested cancer statistics for Middlesex County, New Jersey, and the country. What was disturbing to me, however, was the revelation that the only cancer statistics that existed were through 1985. I have to be honest with you. When we first decided to convene a cancer forum, we were under the impression that there was no such cancer registry in the state of New Jersey. It seemed inconceivable that a state registry would not have current data. What we did find out, as you all know, is that there is a cancer registry today, the efficacy of which is questionable. We hope that in today's forum we can learn more as legislators about the registry.
I think Dr. Frederick Cohen said it best in some of the materials that I've been reading when he said that cancer is not a political, social, or economic issue, but rather a medical enigma for which research is absolutely essential. Let me read to you the 1977 legislative findings and declaration which promulgated the enabling cancer registry legislation. The legislature hereby finds and declares A, that New Jersey is currently suffering from the highest overall mortality rates for cancer in the nation. that certain forms of cancer are now believed to be attributable to environmental factors which, if controlled, can significantly reduce cancer incidence in this state. C, that more complete and more precise statistical data are necessary to determine the correlations between cancer incidence and possible environmental factors, and to evaluate cancer treatment and prevention measures that are currently in progress. Well, we've obviously traveled a great distance in recognizing the need for the registry, but to what end? There is something inherently wrong in a system that declares the study of cancer to be a top priority, but doesn't provide the tools to effectuate the progress. I think it is essential that we decide what priorities are in the state. My colleagues, Assemblywoman Durman and Senator Sinagra, and I believe that the prevention and cure of cancer needs to be a top priority. We do have budget constraints in New Jersey, and we read about it in 50% of every newspaper every day, but it seems to me that the use of the cancer registry as a means of preventative health care not only saves lives, but also contains health costs. It's good policy.
Dr. Brenda Edwards from the Cancer Control Registry discussed the need for additional funding if the current registry were to be expanded.
We have some intent to try to expand coverage, but that will be a decision will have to be made based on funding, additional funding to our institute. So we don't have plans right now without additional funding to expand that group.
Are we forever going to be in a situation where we're playing catch-up? Don't we have to beef up the funding for a short period of time to do that burst and then be able to just keep pace?
Well, certainly that would be our view of it in the registry. You don't want to be playing catch-up forever. It's not a fun kind of a position to be in. We have done a few things. So to answer your first question very directly, if the plans that we're trying to put in place now can materialize, I would say it would be 2 years before we can catch up.
State Senator Jack Sinagra, who wasn't able to attend the discussion, stressed earlier the importance of finding out how environmental factors affect the cancer rate. Sinagra believes that the registry must be made a priority in District 18.
This is the spot for the library's 25th birthday 25-cent picnic. It's all happening here on Sunday, May 3rd from 12 to 3 p.m. If it rains, come on Saturday, May 9th. Hi, I'm Josephine Fiamingo. At the 25 cents picnic, we'll have hot dogs and ice cream and soda and more, all for 25 cents each. We'll have entertainment, clowns, races, games, prizes, surprises. It's sure to be fun for everyone. The 25-cent picnic is sponsored by the East Brunswick Friends of the Library, and please park in Civic Center lots 2 and 3. See you there.
Hi, it's my pleasure today to introduce our viewing audience to Ron Fournier, the new director of the Raritan Valley YMCA on Dunham's Corner Road. Hello, Ron. Welcome to East Brunswick.
Hi, Judith. Thank you.
How are things going now since you've arrived?
It's going very well. The last month that I've been here, I've spent some time just trying to get oriented to the Y, the community, various leadership in the community, and it's been very hectic and very pleasurable, but it's going very well. Thank you.
Now, I know an awful lot about you because I was involved in the selection committee, but tell our audience a little bit about your Y background.
I started in the YMCA in 1971, came out of college as a physical education major, and spent 9 years working in Marblehead, Massachusetts, small little YMCA in a seacoast town, doing some program development and working with staff. I moved from Marblehead to New Canaan, Connecticut, where I had a position as an associate executive director, which involved a little more program development and a lot more staff training and development. The opportunity came up here last February for me to have a leadership of my own YMCA, and I eagerly took that upon myself on March 16th.
So you see this as a brand new challenge for you in your Y career?
Oh, sure. I've mentioned many times that I've spent about 21 years at the YMCA now, and at this particular point, I'm going to be probably making a career out of it. And this would be really something that I've looked forward to doing for the last 20 years, is having an association where I can be a factor and hopefully make a difference in the Y.
Now, the Y has been here for many years, and it's sort of evolved into a child care agency of sorts. Tell me a little bit about that, and tell me about some of the future plans that are in store for the Y.
Well, apparently about 7 or 8 years ago, there was a feasibility study done in the town of East Brunswick, and there seemed to be a very pressing need for more child care facilities. At that time, the East Brunswick YMCA took on the challenge of child care, and in their minds at that particular time, in order to do it successfully, they focused only on the child care. The programs right now need to be just a little bit revised, a little bit revamped, and we also need to look at expanding our program base beyond the child care. We have a mission in the YMCA, which is to provide healthy mind, spirit, and body. And when you look at the many, many things that the YMCAs do across the country, this Y has all the capability of doing all of those things for the community here. So we're looking really at expanding into types of programming that would affect families and individuals given the parameters of our mission.
And I understand we share the same interest in perhaps doing something for teenagers in the community.
Oh yeah, yeah. The teenage community is probably one of the most neglected components of any constituency, if you will. The teenagers could develop into possible leaders of the future, and I think we all have an obligation to provide some sort of constructive programming that will help them develop and evolve into those leaders.
Now, if a township resident hasn't been to the Y in a while, I think they'll be pleasantly surprised to see a lot of the changes that you've been making inside. Certainly there's been a lot of improvements. What are some of the thoughts the board has about possible capital improvements here at the property if the times are right?
Well, at the present time, one of the thoughts that the Y had was looking at a renovation or even a building of a complete new facility for the Y. Down the road a piece, it would probably involve a swimming pool, an indoor swimming pool, a larger gymnasium, some locker facilities, and probably a weight training and conditioning room. Racquetball courts and or squash courts might be something that could be also added. But that would be the scheme of a complete full facility YMCA. I'm not sure on the timetable on that. At this particular point, we'd like to build a base for programming and build a case for some sort of a capital campaign for a new facility. So we're working hard on that right now.
And I understand the Y board is also looking for some membership as well from the community?
The Y board of directors right now is looking for some new members. We're looking at the kind of individuals that do care about the community and also may have some sort of a feeling for the YMCA and what the YMCA wants to accomplish. If anybody's interested in being on the board of directors, I can be contacted. We can find out what sort of interest that person has. We'll put them to work on those interests, and we'll work hard with them to help them be successful.
Speaking of work, I'll give you a little free commercial time. Tell us about employment opportunities at the Y and the upcoming summer camp program.
Right now we've done some little revamping of our staffing for summer camp, and we're looking for about 20-25 individuals who could act as camp counselors, sports specialists, nature specialists, some swimming instruction. We have all kinds of openings available. Diane Diotto, our program director, is now accepting applications from all aspects, and we hope that we'll get some good quality people on board for our summer camp program. For further information, you can contact the East Brunswick YMCA at 908-257-4114. YMCA is located at 206 Dunham's Corner Road, East Brunswick, New Jersey.
The 5th annual Daisy Spring Fair is on its way, and organizer Ron Wisniewski and committee member Nikki Rick stopped in the Channel 8 studio to fill us in on the details.
We're here today to promote the Daisy Spring Fair, the 5th annual Daisy Fair coming up at the Middlesex County Fairgrounds over here in East Brunswick on Cranberry Road. This is an annual event. This year it plans to be the biggest and the best ever. It's grown drastically since the last year, and Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin Brothers is in town for opening night. They're going to stay here at the Romana Renaissance, and it'll be a concert with the opening band being Tim Gillis, who's a Jersey favorite. This will be at Monday night, 6 o'clock, with a major fireworks show to follow. I mean, big time. It's the 25th anniversary of Camp Daisy, and it's 50th year of the fair. It's going to be great. Gatlin is the only outside charge at the fair. It's a $21 advance sale charge, guaranteed reserve seating. The day of the fair, you could buy a ticket for $21, but it's strictly lawn chairs or bleachers. So it's really beneficial to buy the tickets now. We're somewhere around row 9, and we keep getting back further and further as the days go by. So it would pay to get your tickets immediately. You can call. The number will be shown on the screen, I assume. and take it from there. We also have a Daisy Fair store for the first time ever. We're on 91 Jackson Street in South River, across from the Knights of Columbus. At the store, you'll be able to get the Gatlin tickets. We're open 10 to 5. Take an hour off for supper. There's somebody there from 6 to 9 at night. At the store, we have advance sale ride tickets, 50% off. $10 rides at the fair are $5 now. It's an anniversary special. Amusements of America were kind enough to give us X amount of tickets to sell in advance. That's 50 cents on the dollar off. You parents out there, got to get them tickets. 91 Jackson Street in South River. Fireman's Night is going to be big this year. It's on Friday night. The Shirelles are back for Fireman's Night. It's going to be a 2-hour concert. There's no charge for that. Come out and see the Shirelles, her famous song Soldier Boy. There's a car show on Saturday run by Leanne. Beautiful car show. A couple hundred cars involved. The professional wrestling is back this year with the Wild Samoans. That's a free attraction. And Cindy, I know you like this. The circus is back. Phil's Brothers Circus is back this year for the full 7 days. It's going to be 2 shows a night, and there is no charge for that. I got to be forgetting something, but there's more, I know for sure.
Nikki, how are you involved with the fair?
Well, last year Ron got me involved. Actually, Joe and Ron got me involved in helping out by manning a couple of the booths. So I had a few people from the post office come over, and on one Saturday night we all worked different booths, either the wheels, running the wheels, the games. We had 2 gentlemen next to us who ran a booth where you have to shoot the clown in the mouth, and they were the hecklers of the bunch. And hopefully this year they'll come back with me to run the dunking booth, which will be a lot of fun. Hopefully we'll pull in a lot of money for the kids. We're even getting the postmaster out there. So anybody in town who's interested in having to, wanting to dunk the postmaster, come on out and maybe we can get him up there. It's running from May 25th through May 31st, Monday through Sunday. Last year we only had 5 days. This year we're having 7. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday we'll be running from 5 to 11 at night, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday we'll run the fair from 12 to 11.
The good news is we have the largest, I'd like to say the largest amusement company in the United States doing the Daisy Fair. They run the Meadowlands. This is big time this year. Amusements of America are coming in with big time amusements, 30 rides. We've been known to have 12 or 14 rides. The Daisy Fair benefits the East Brunswick Association for Brain Injured Children, known as Camp Daisy, and we're on Farrington Lake in East Brunswick for the past 25 years.
Well, it's that time of year again. It's time to plan for the Memorial Day Parade. East Brunswick Township reaches out to its citizens to get involved in the biggest event of the year. This year's parade and ceremony is scheduled for Sunday, May 24th, 1992 at 1:00 p.m. The parade starts at the Fern Road entrance to the fairgrounds. It travels to Dunham's Corner Road, to Riders Lane, and to the Civic Center complex. The ceremony, which is the most important part of the day, begins immediately after the parade, or about 3 o'clock. So how can you get involved? There's lots of ways. The first is make sure to invite all your friends to town and tell them to come early so they can get in to see the best parade around. Then you can also participate by being a volunteer, or you can get a group together to march in the parade. There are many parade trophies being awarded this year, and with some input on last year's parade, we've extended some of those categories to include special categories for children's organizations, also for children's floats. Or you can decorate your home if you live on the parade route, and you can win a prize for having the best decorated house. There's another way you can get involved too, and that's with making a donation towards the event. A fundraising committee has been established, and they'll be happy to take a donation of any amount to help defray the township's costs in putting on this worthwhile event. Each year, the township recognizes the sacrifices of its veterans, and we hope that you'll join us. So make sure to mark your calendar, invite your friends, and come out and either be in the parade or support those people that are in the parade. Remember, mark your calendars, Sunday, May 24th at 1 o'clock. I'll see you there.
Cleaning up Route 18 is the goal of the newly implemented Adopt a Highway program in East Brunswick. At Monday night's Township Council meeting, Mayor Ira Skowski presented a proclamation recognizing participation of several groups in this program. On hand to receive the proclamation on behalf of the East Brunswick 18 Committee was Township Zoning Officer Joan Farrell.
Whereas East Brunswick Township, through EB18, will be participating in the New Jersey Adopt a Highway program, sponsored by the Department of Transportation. And whereas East Brunswick Highway 18 is the first roadway in Middlesex County to participate in the Adopt a Highway program, and whereas the Adopt a Highway program provides citizens with an opportunity to participate in achieving safe, attractive, and litter-free highways, and also to raise the public's awareness of the alarming increase in the amount of roadside trash. And whereas the Adopt a Highway program promotes and establishes a cooperation between the citizens and government to help beautify Highway 18. Now therefore be proclaimed that I, Ira Oskowski, Mayor of the Township of East Brunswick, do hereby extend best wishes to EB18 as they lead the community by joining the state of New Jersey on Saturday, June 6, 1992, for the statewide kickoff of the Adopt a Highway program. Be it further proclaimed that I applaud the various religious, service, political, civic, and private business groups who have volunteered their time on June 6th to participate by cleaning up Highway 18 in our community.
Also at the meeting, the mayor and council proclaimed April 22nd as No Pollute Commute Day.
Now therefore be it proclaimed that I, Ira Oskowski, Mayor of the Township of East Brunswick, do hereby proclaim April 22nd, 1992 as No Pollute Commute Day in East Brunswick, and encourage residents and workers to leave their cars at home for one day and commute to work by alternative means.
In a priority discussion, Mayor Oskowski called for the formation of a citizens committee to review plans to change the community beach to a blue water pool facility. The mayor said that he couldn't support a plan of this magnitude without the input from residents. The proposed plans to renovate the brownwater facility came about because of declining attendance over the years. The proposal would include construction of a large blue water pool and is targeted to be self-supporting. Mayor Oskowski called for the committee to be made up of 5 residents representing various segments of the community. Also at Monday night's meeting, the council held a public hearing for the amendments made to the proposed 1992 municipal budget. Several residents approached the council with their ideas on specific items that should be cut in the budget. The council cannot pass the 92 budget until they receive approval from the state. They don't anticipate that until after the state legislature completes deliberations on the state budget. That's all for now. We leave you tonight with members of Monroe Tiger Cubs Den No. 1, Pack 3, who came to visit the Channel 8 studio this week. Thanks for watching.